Hello, welcome everyone. We are back for poLANd.tf 2023. It is the grand finals of the 6v6 event at this LAN here, and it'll be an interesting one for many different reasons. I'm sure we'll have a great game here tonight with Street Devils and napierdalana. I'm not alone here, Samson Production and Ben with me on the mic.
Yeah, hello. It's been a good tournament so far. Got a finals coming up. Should be an exciting one. Poland against Czechia. See who comes out on top.
Well, you have PL in your name. Clearly, you must be biased in this match.
Yeah, surely. Yeah, I'll keep the bias to a minimum. Yeah, there's always a debate. What does the PL really mean? Poland is often the first guess of what people think it stands for. But yeah, that should be good. With these teams, both of them have. I don't think either have dropped a map the whole tournament so far. They've both sort of stormed their way through. Look very comfortable, but final test still to come for both these teams.
Yeah, very much. It was a clean sweep for them here so far, winning the groups as well. For that matter, napierdalana as the resident Polish squad overtaking the sort of veteran squad in the semifinals of the Polish team. Solid performance there yesterday, a bit of a closer map one into a very dominant map too. So the new blood over there on the Polish side certainly making themselves look really good here. They have a couple of the two players, Alof freshly moving up to Division 1 this season, I believe, as well. Matt and Xi, obviously, unfamiliar faces, I suppose, as well, towards the high level. But yeah, a lot less premiership experience than I expected for the Polish Grand Finals team, but they made it work. It's been going well for them here so far. Interested to see if they can bring it home for the country, or maybe if the Czechs can turn things around.
Yeah, on the other side, yeah, the Czechs, they've got a fair bit of experience amongst their ranks. It's a team that in some way or another played in season 42 in Prem. There's been a few roster changes since then, but yeah, a lot of experience on that side. Yeah, most recently got Playgray representing a wheelchair in the last couple of seasons, or Natty Newt as they were previously known.
Yeah, certainly will be an interesting one here as well. We have a last-minute emergency as well. Ceased from this plane of existence, unfortunately. Kajar sets in. That's arguably downgrade. SNH is a great scout, of course, for the Czech Republic, but Kajar freshly coming up from a now currently 3 weeks in undefeated Div 2 season as a scout as well. Doing pretty well for himself here. Needs to fill some big shoes, but maybe it wouldn't be good enough. Not a bad replacement by any means here. Will already have life back into the first map. It's going to be process to start us off with here on this best of array.
Yeah, I'll see how the two teams decide to take this out. Moving very fast across the point here. There's a bit of a poke and a prod here. Both teams going towards their right hand side. The bombs come in. I love straight on the medic. Didn't go down. Playgray taken out as well. But the fight come back through the side as well. Demo and Med locked for the Poles. There's only Puppy alive here on the low ground. There's low HPs on either side, but can't get anything done. Med's traded, not the worst outcome in the world for the Czechs, but they get wiped.
Yeah, and is still, there's always the question mark if you get positioned to second as a red team here. It doesn't feel likely though. All the spawns are already back with Poles, but the Czechs just beat most of them out to second here, so they probably can defend this much space at the very least. We're also peeking here, seeing what's up, if there's anything easy for grabs. Not really looking like it, like you said, with both meds going down. It's not going to fall apart too much here just yet. Both teams building up the Ubers now for the next engagement, probably late. Unless someone just tries to be unnecessarily aggressive right now. A little bit of downtime here before the next big play, but you kind of be too sure about it, especially at land. People might just be riding some high still from well they've been playing yesterday.
But yeah, it's an emotional thing as well, right? You're like sat there in desks next to everyone, you can get hyped and you're motivated to go for something. By the moment, it looks like the Poles just content and take this sewer area, make some space, maybe have room for a sack, and Kroll's the first one going very high, but taken out of the sky by a nice air shot from Breeze. Just taking down himself, one player traded either side. There's a lot of pressure here coming in. The Czechs don't want to give up this space. And the exit of sewer too quickly. Two soldiers down for either team. We're down to a 4v4. Red spawners coming in momentarily. And we reset after that brief moment of chaos.
Yeah, looks like no one quite willing to pull the trigger on the Ubers just yet in that engagement. And that's somewhat surprising. Poles very much played like very unhinged yesterday. Once they got things going, they just kept pressing the aggression forward as much as they could. I guess a little bit more reserved now, just really trying to not mess up early big time and see what they can get away with. Move things speed up from there, but at this current moment it's just hard to get at this point. Sometimes it's while the bombs are still coming through on one bomb, Alof from the other side as well, trying to find the damage, but Alof's bomb never actually does go deep in the end. With that, they're just lacking damage.
Yeah, but two soldiers go down for the Czechs. They both get caught in the counter-attack attempt, and now there's a player up here for the Poles. They're actually going to walk this in by the looks of things, walking out through the sewer onto Mej, going in. Ubers used out on either side. and the point here might be getting taken by the poles. Low HP on both these scouts. Medic having to flash around a lot. Gedu going to be backing out into one. Counter-attack attempt coming in straight on Zio, dodges the rocket. Just about stays alive with his counter-aggression coming in again. Zio doesn't survive. Second stack comes in, takes him down. And the push falls apart.
Still a couple of people flying late in here to the point, though. Poles has not much left standing with the Troy to get the rest. It doesn't look like it's happening. Just a Devilman for 2. Not surprisingly committed. They didn't take the exchange the way they did. Really make me think they wanted to stall out, get the players back from respawn during the Uber. Took too long, but the bomb for the report was brilliant, so it still worked out in the long run. Despite the timing being slightly off there for the check, not giving up on the option there, and it's working out brilliantly for them all the way back now. I guess props to get it there as well. That was some sketchy moment. Like you said, they had to flash a lot, but everyone did stay alive during that entire fight, and that was crucial to actually get back into the fight when they desperately wanted to get them back to mid, and with some momentum left to spare to second, I'm sure this next point will be played as well. It's just a question of if the Poles can find anything they're looking for.
Yeah, Cool's going deep, and actually gets a force as well. Huge rockets coming out. Gedu taken down very, very low. Has to use that Uber charge to save themselves and the Demo Man. So second point is conceded here, but that Uber charge taken away from Gedu is a huge, huge deal. Might be time for some sort of counter aggression.
Breeze also peeked in early, tried to get the force out right away. Drug a similar idea there, but neither of the soldiers quite finding what they're looking for. We'll have to fall back, see with the advantage now. Should get out of last hit pretty easily. I mean, Lever Soldiers in a good position. All they have is a bit of hype spam. That's not going to snap much at all here. So, looking good for napierdalana to take it back to the second point at the very least. And maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, if they're quick here, they might be able to burst into mid. They've still got about 30% ad. They do only on 75%. Still building up. And yeah, they're walking straight out here at the IT area. There's one soldier looks to deal with, dealt with, jumps away. And space has been taken here on mid. And they might even have to use 2 soldiers low here for the checks.
One's going to be the move here. Druckus is down. That's a start, of course, but not really willing to commit of this. Just take the point as well. Ooh, and now Breeze so early. Yeah, Breeze is just, they lost the soldier. It doesn't matter. Setting in the second one, trying to get some damage to the combo here when we can, and it's working greatly. They're trying to make up for it somehow, but the flash doesn't last long enough. Can't get close to the medic, and we'll just get gunned down right away. And now with Ad and one player down, this is getting better and better for 3 levels.
Yeah, they're going to start walking in. One scout down means there's less denial on these soldiers. Once Troll takes out Floppy, which is a nice pick to get, but they really want to be just getting out of here. There's 50% disad.
Alright, how much more can they get with this? It's a bit awkward here. Still waiting for a respawn, but I mean, the ad is still there. They know that as well. It's only on 30 by the time they're trying to get in here, so looking good on that front. Flash a little bit. They can't really get the bomb going he wanted to, but it's enough damage to force people back at the very least. Now it's the awkward moment though. You get this point most likely. Doesn't look like they're really getting any kills. They're trying so hard to block here, but it's not coming together. So now you know, okay, we've gotten this far, but we can't really stay on point because they just have super coming up again.
Yeah, it's the real tug of war you get in there.
Oh,
yeah, that Demo Man going down is big, and the Uber charge comes out as well, but getting taken down by Mej over towards that midpoint. Big aggressive shoot. Demo goes down, and they just all run in. Full doing massive damage here in IT. Gets one frag. Might go into Floppy as well. Taken out as well. Plague last alive. Trying to escape towards Choke. Might not be allowed to. Actually, never mind. Very nice pipe onto Saber. Saved their own life.
Again, I do have to mention this. Supra told me that they do not have the latest whitelist change from TF2R, which, if I remember correctly, was the lock and lock ad, which means this is legal and non-legal.
Just need it.
I mean, we're in the pipe and Bango just now. Oh, never mind. Actually, Adolf didn't need more than that.
Yeah, the player's walking across his midpoint. Oh, looking very confident here. Mazza taken down. He got crated there as he walked through, and everyone down. Never mind, the fight turns around. The Czechs looking like they're going to hold tall. They're getting this bonus through. It looks like the Czechs napierdalana being forced back onto mid.
Early damage. They're trying to deny them entrance here, but it's not looking so good. Adolf goes down early. Cruel tries to fall back right away as well, but I mean, at this point, they're just giving up space, which is exactly what they're looking for as well. They might actually try to extend off this as well. The back is running away, but with the player down of it, taking the exchange, might not be that bad.
Yeah, great work there. They're spamming those sticks towards the choke, but never mind, the sacks are coming in. Nice direct there from Troll and Shurkas. Mej taken down, 5 stickies. Looks like the red side, they want to stay in here, they want to contest this. Even Ubers, why not? Saber's actually taking a lot of space here up top and forced the attacking side all the way back into their own sewer. It looks like they're going to give in on the push, reassess, rethink, and maybe slow it down for a moment.
bit unfortunate. I feel like Three Devils just kind of wasn't sure if they wanted to kill the medic or kill people on the beam before they have. And in the end, it was a decent amount of damage just split apart on different people, not on a focus fire there, despite a really good chance to sneak away something out of that play. Like you said, though, it's not going to be the end of the world. They pulled out early, will be fine on mid at least. But what now? It's been the first third of the game basically unscored so far. But it's been very back and forth. Both teams taking a chance to see it once again. Yeah, they have lanes to go for.
There's any scouting as well. They're going to go for this Blayway taken down super low, but takes a nice arrow from Gedu. Yeah, they're going to have to back out again. napierdalana losing a player. Going to have to be super careful. I love straight in on choke though. It's massive direct into Blayway, who somehow survives. And Uber charge forced out by Zeo. That's not what they're wanting to see here. napierdalana, they're going to walk in. They're really going to get this Uber of Gedu, but he gets launched into the sky. Nej taken into the air, unable to get onto the medic and swept up by Kajabu.
Getting a moment back to that as well. Oh no, not quite. Match actually gets out. Everyone at the bottom of the dive, including Kajabu. Pipe down, barely bomb in McCool. They want to go back in. They have some kills here. Got to make the most of it. Don't want to lose ground here. And yeah, get the Uber first of all. And at this point, they dropped too many people. They didn't want to use to this. But it just made Uber that does get forced in all the worst for, and now they can't really fight back at all. Just Lower and Soldier Spawn comes back to now, but is that enough? Maybe.
Oh, Gedu's down!
Behind. Yeah. Get the bomb going, Alov get that one, and suddenly it's just a big old mess from the point. And in the meantime, looks like Zeo might just be fine in the back.
Yeah, it's a big sack wave coming in. It's a full 5-man sack. Med goes down, all 5 of the blue players sprinting straight into Zeo. They do get him in the end, but they cost them 5 whole players to do so, which is arguably worth to equalise the Uber situation. But they're going to be picking up second as well. They're going to have to go all the way back to their own last.
Alright, well, we're stepping in the right direction. First time we've really been on a potentially doable last point situation. And even then, it's not like the Czechs will want to be there at all. They're quickly back to second. Fourth cap, they blocked the cap already. A bomb by Alov comes through, but everyone else decided to call it quits early. Gedu does go concerningly weak to that, but there's no follow-up to this one, so it will all be fine, and we're still not actually getting to much of last position just yet in this match. Both teams just fighting for every bit of space on the map as much as they can, and it gets us back into a 50-second stalemate with even Ubers once again. We've spent time here, but not much at the time. Both these, all of these stalemates quickly resolved by both these rosters so far. Let's see how this one works out.
Yeah, Zeo there on that dying so late on that mid meant he had to backspawn really far back. So when they were capping second, they didn't have a heal around them, so they had to play passive and ended up giving up that second point. But they're going to go back in again, looking like this is their standard protocol, taking the sewer area. See if they can send some sacks in. They've had varied success from them so far. Blue Scouts are doing a genuinely quite good job of dealing with them. Alov's in. Oh, massive air pipes!
Oh my god.
Monster.
Do not let this man have 5 things ever again.
Yeah, they're going to walk across into this as well. Big damage into Matza. Saber, they're going to have to retreat here all the way out. Matza taken down. That's a demo man down. Only 2 players alive here. Forward spawns are coming in, but still looking good. They're still on the back foot here, the Poles. Big jumps coming in. Zeo backs out into 1, into the safety. Mid still hasn't been capped yet, so it's a potentially dangerous. Uber charge used out. Saber going to run in trend. He can take down Playgrade. Big hit here to get during this Uber. Gedu holds on for now, but there's only 3 players alive. It's going to be so hard.
Yeah, the first time the Czechs make the decision to want to not use as long as possible, and it's once again backfiring more than it helped right now, because in the end they just lose more and more players. The Poles are not giving up the moment they have a couple of people down. They're just going to keep on going until they get to the medic, and at that point, again, this Uber just can't do anything.
Monster air shot from full there, gets kill stolen by Saber at the end, but didn't go unnoticed. It's big plays, and yeah, the Venti was really swinging here, back and forth. The Poles here looking to take the second point, and with big health advantage, they might be doing just that, but they've lost the demo man in the meantime. So yeah, that's the cue. They want to go back, 2 players down, including the demo man. They're going to swing the pendulum back the other way.
Yeah, all the way to the Czechs taking it potentially pretty easily with 2 down. I guess it's hard to fight back, but again, the safety net of the Uber is there for the Poles. Zeo coming up on the Uber right now. Gedu died a couple seconds earlier, of course, so not quite there yet. And look at that point they thought they could get away with, but steals the medic gun as well. 60% on Zeo right away. They really need to kill right now, but Kajabu can't get it.
There's 2 blue players behind here. Even though this Fliggry's got out. Goes all the way back. big stack up here, going to deny a couple of forward spawns.
Alright, well, the dust is settled from the chaotic fight with the backup threat, but they just didn't have anyone to block in the end. Like I said, Tango alone wasn't going to be cutting it, had to fall back to last.
Zhurkas going in. Zhurkas is maybe thinking about denying second here. Oh, not a chance. Alov straight into Zio. Oh, it's a disaster. They're going to be able to edge that me, surely. Player up. Lots of space here. You're not going to have it. There we go. Never mind.
Nice across the point. Very punch thing. Caps it in the meantime. That's going to do the first actual advantage to last. The block wasn't going to cut it. They sent 2 back. Made sure that guy in backhand slice as quickly as possible. Like, they actually got a little bit weaker, but they still got all the space they needed to just, like you said, play the long fight there, edge out the cap and force people to contest. Works out just fine. Long first round, halfway through the map, but poLAND takes the lead.
Let's see if the Czechs have got anything left to come back with the second mid-fight. The first one didn't go all too well. He managed to get a constellation frag onto the medic. Zio, good start here. Alov's taken down early, pulls it on the medic. Oh, misses a couple of rockets, gets it. Oh, doesn't get it in the end. 40 HP onto Gedu, survives, but now there's still scouts running in and taken down in the end. But it bought a bit of time. Cost another couple of players there for the Poles, and we've got a mirrored situation to the first one. 3 players surviving for the Czechs this time, but Med's going down, we're going to stabilise.
The one thing's very different. Both Meds did die, but getting so much data, she will have 20 advantage out of this one. That's not a ton, but maybe enough for them to dare something brave in a little bit once the Uber comes up. For now, at least the Czechs might only lose the midpoint if they try to desperately push across the midpoint early. They still got to watch out for it. They've been a little bit just negligent about the situations here and there, so really got to keep their eyes open how far forward they want to be positioned with as little as advantage as it might be still in the end. Could still backfire very quickly.
Yeah, it's not been built terribly efficiently. There's that adds sort of depleting a little bit. Looks like teams are just going to be happy to stabilise this out. See if we get some sacks coming in.
Maybe. They've not been too shy about these bombs, so I wouldn't be surprised by any means to just see the soldiers fly. It's a question of what comes afterwards, and both teams have been pretty insistent on doing a lot of follow-up plays after each bomb. So that's really what the danger lies. Also, Breeze just somehow stayed in the corner. The soldier didn't realize at all. Takes the fight, gets to the pack. W there. Alov just baited around the corner. Nice start. What now? Where's the actual play line? Like I said, 1 kill is nice, but it's not enough usually. Gotta edge this out on the second point a little bit here. Like,
they're still walking in aggro. Yeah, they're walking in aggro here. Maybe looking to get something across this point. Zhurkas taking out Crow. A nice way to start that, and they're walking all the way across here. Mats are taken down in 1. It's a big pick onto the demo man. It might be the cue to go last here. They're walking into lobby very quick. Want to get 5 seconds before the demo man respawns. They're going to walk in, try and get sticked on this point. Lots of cap time coming through, and they can't just about. He was flashed out, and look at the cap time here. This is so dangerous here for the Poles.
They haven't to anyone that is just terrifying, but no one's getting there again. Not in time anyway. They just let them have a position here. Last ditch effort by Zhurkas gets the medic, but still have Kajal hiding, and as long as he touches the point, it might be enough. Soldier standing on it though. Does not allow that to happen. Suddenly he has to go between 2 scouts to get out of here. Not gonna happen. Really trying to play for the backup. Not gonna happen. Really annoying for them. That was such a close call there. Just one flash, and then he really wants
Yeah, on the point. Too many shiny players on the point.
Oh, Matt's ultra early. Wait a second. That's huge. No, that moment on last.
Yeah, with a dry push coming in, maybe possible. They're gonna think about coming in through lobby again. 4 seconds on the respawn. Maybe there's no time. Alov gets a nice go into Breeze. That might stall out the push. Looks like it will. They're content to back up. They're gonna play it slow. Wait, will the Ubers come up? As it is actually a slight advantage. Yeah, Zio died so late in that previous push.
I might just help them out here, but it doesn't look like it. Right, they have 90. They're not in lobby yet, so they're not going anywhere. They're probably expecting the other team to just have built better by them. At this point, I mean, once you go lobby, lose a guy on beam, you probably just lose out a couple of percentages right there. Gives them plenty of time because it's fully set up by this point as well. So the Poles probably not really happy to be on last, but it could be worse given the situation.
Yeah, for sure. They've got the gun up to full, stabilised out, and it looks like the Czechs gonna send 1 soldier in, gets 1 rocket off.
Oh, they're sending both soldiers.
They're sending both soldiers in. Yeah, the second one goes in as well. Get absolutely nothing for it. Pole's going to use that as his cue to gets onto Plague Ray. 1 rocket hit. Doesn't manage to hit the air shot on the second attempt. But Alov's in huge pressure here coming out. There's a force comes in. Very nice bomb there from Alov.
These ones will be tackling a lot quicker though, so they need to be careful how much they want to stay in on the forward side as well. Trading numbers right now does not help them as they're just down numbers from the get-go. Quick damage Jerk is the bomb scout cleaning up quite nicely, not being casual, delivering the goods, and they're not giving up this one. There's team alive. You gotta just go all the way here right now. They already have a second actually. You don't need to wait for that at all. They just go small on point, and no respawn will be there in time. Street Devils flying it up.
Yeah, it looked so good. They got the force out so early, all the way back at sewer, and decide to go in off it. The poles, but don't manage to make it work, losing so many players in that push. Med and Scout left alive, and nothing they can do as we equalise out 1-1. Just over 11 minutes left, so still anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you come into this game and see, oh no, someone has to emergency be replaced before the grand finals. It's always the worry that it makes the game worse, but not by the looks of it. This is going to go down to the wire.
Massive aggression here coming in from the soldiers of either side. Both Meds surviving for now. No, never mind. Zeo casts his first strike, taken down, and Sax are coming in onto the game here. Not taken down just yet.
The control point is being captured.
Playing very passive here. There's still more pressure coming in. See if the Scouts can get onto 150 health still.
They're just melting the Scouts up top though, mate. Saba just completely annihilated by their counterparts just now. Great damage by Street Devils. That's a close bit win, but that's a good momentum from here now, right?
Yeah, getting that ad, keeping Gedu alive was the ultimate goal there. After surviving that first sack wave, it gets a little bit scary. But keep the Uber-charge up. And, yeah, it looks like Paul's going to send in a sack here of their own towards the show. Not going to amount to anything just yet. Back up. Zero's actually built these very hard. 80% Uber on the red medics.
Trapped points while they're just going to lead numbers so much, and they still have left, which was
force.
More terrifying. Yeah, they stayed on second. They wanted to capture badly, but it just makes you really vulnerable to exactly this, and so doesn't even die for it in the end either. Alok will be fine, and this is just full steam ahead. So you take a lot of damage. It's not easier right now. Only 3 people in front of the rest of respawn. It's not really in the fight yet, but they're hanging on for now. Everyone's kind of weak. We still have to be really careful about a potential bomb, but it looks like this midpoint will be theirs.
Yeah, and they might want to go one more as well. He's only just spawned up 40% Uber for the Czechs, and it's 100% for the Poles and Zeo. And they're going to be walking out all the way through here from sewer. Yeah, Czechs playing very passive. Getting a gun up on last already, they know what's coming.
The control point is being captured.
Yeah, sprang up from lobby, let's see what he can find. Oh, Druckus has completely missed him somehow in upper lobby. Didn't see that at all. Will just blindsided, goes down early. Gedu will get the Uber, but it's still upper battle here with 45 alive. Didn't spot the gun very early, that could be the problem. That thing is just wasting so much time getting spammed down eventually. By this point, he gets long out. Gets some lots of space here. Zeo survives the first bit of damage. Everyone's going up the left side for the poles and just has one drop. Tried to at this point anyway. Get some damage going, but maybe not enough. These guys are just once again tearing them apart.
Yeah, Kajar here coming in as the Merc, doing huge work there, holding out. Zeo's taken down very late there. It's a 12-second respawn coming in with the red medic. A nice hold in the end, that Uber charge, and yes, his gun hid so far back. The Uber charge doesn't really get anything in the way, and they pushed off the back of one soldier pick and comes back to bite. So now look like the Czechs walking onto mid. Going to be about 6% ad as they walk their way in. There's not much opposition force on the other side.
Point taken, so good. As it stands here, and they might not stay here at all as well. This is a big advantage coming forward, so full team ahead with like no traps to really have to worry about just yet. So the second point will be pretty easy for them as well. He dropped his dice early, it's very annoying. Are they gonna try anything else on the forward side? Turks are very control, so they very much alive.
Yeah, see, they're all the way up. Bull's actually going to isolate the medic here. Gets 2 splashes onto Gedu, who's taken down to about 60 HP. Does manage to survive and doesn't have to force. A second is capped up, but Zeo now nearly has the Uber. So it might be in full. We haven't really seen long haul. We've not really had much of a long haul stalemate this game, but
not really, no.
Saber's coming up on Sniper. Really expecting things to slow down a little bit.
Oh, well, it doesn't mean that they will just sit back as well like that. They're trying to play aggressive as fast as they can, at least in the circumstances. Anyway, not quite hitting the first shot there, so the Cats under the back, they know what they have to play around now. Makes this obviously a little more manageable, but still necessarily not easy at all. know about class water stuff as well. You'd expect to see an engineer here immediately.
Yeah, for sure. Keeping the edge on the scout. I say we're getting spammed out from one here, not getting a great deal of space to work with. Obviously, especially with the AWP as well, it makes it a loud noise. Even if you aren't necessarily seen, you're often heard with the big green gun. Joker's actually been chased out here. Alov's gone all the way in deep onto one soldier, gets taken out, trades his life for it, and they actually lose both their soldiers. Crew going down, but getting onto Playgray is Saber. Nice counter pick there coming in. Demoman down here for the checks. Trying to get some cap time on point, trying to get in. Player in panic taken out as well. A bit scrappy here. There's a bit of a slow bleed of players from either side. There's the Bulls coming out on top. They're the ones here thinking about pushing out onto their second point.
Yeah, no Uber has been committed yet. Uber both medics just trying to hold them for as long as they can, but eventually it looks like Zio wants to pull the trigger a little bit early as opposed to the counterparts. They obviously will use eventually as well, but have like longer one can take a little bit more space, enough to take the high ground on the point as well, and Zio can't get back out again either.
Playgray with huge air shots as well coming in, and that's a massive, massive pick coming into Zio. Saber straight up on the gun. Not expecting the best time, but haven't even got time here. Jobs going all the way in. Medic in tow, and they're going to go straight and scrap on last instantly. The soldiers up on height here. Passing around close, very, very low, but then taking down before landing. Matt's is 5 HP. Oh, the heavy comes in and maybe saves this.
It's so much damage. Huge.
That turns the fight on its head.
Yeah, very, very clutch moment there to get that heavy in position when they badly needed it. Ornet was fun enough in to just stop getting a respawn with the damage. They just didn't have enough position yet. Badly needed at that moment here, but they're not giving up this yet, as you see. They're coming up to Uber at the moment here. They don't want to even give them a second, and with that, they're getting killed so early as well. Trade 2 for 1 with Ad. What's going to stop them now? They can just take so much space early.
Yeah, there's still another 30% before Zio gets Uber. Again, do not want to waste any time using him straight across onto the point. He's trying to splash into Spawn. Spawn's getting shut out. This might be an opportunity for Cap here, and Cap comes through. Uber charge advantage converted. Very nice push in there. They say the heroics come through and they get Saber up on the heavy and they survive that scrappy fight, but at the end of the day, like that's only really postponed their demise. They had. It's not looking good. Losing those 2 players in lobby didn't help either. And yeah, 2-1 now for the Czechs. Under 5 minutes to play, so looking very good on their side.
Good here for the end of the map, potentially. Not much time left here. Certainly not enough to sit on last reset anymore to the green side. Just take initiative forward now as well. Just looks like Bagger the one trying to go gas in the mid fight. Will get time for them to be quickly traded out at least, but looks like the 2 bombs can't really get much going either. Trying to breeze with last ditch effort, but before that, Jokic bomb died already, and the second bomb can't do enough to catch up to that anymore. Sniped by Xeus to close out. 1 more kill. It's not the one they wanted. The medic does escape, but given the circumstances, 4 minutes left here, 1 round down. Can't ask for much more than this other than the Met dying.
Look at the aggression here as well. The Poles all the way up. They had Mats almost trapping out into last as well. Was all the way in rollout. Really hungry. Even Ubers. There's an engineer. There's a sentry gun. There's a sniper up even on Kajab. It's turtle update themselves. Hard to push into. Yeah, 3 minutes 45 on the clock for the Poles to get back into this game and equalise. Alov's all the way in. Panic.
Chuck is stuck in the corner, does survive just barely, but like you said, I think it's basically protect the trying to get a player
huge
behind a little bit of hold.
Alov goes in huge. You get 2 picks, you get a sentry gun. Job's taken down, lots of cap time coming in from Measure as well. He's going to be having to get denied on the point. Uber charges forced out on either side. And look at all these weak players here on the blue side. They have the spawn door to go back to if they want to resupply. The luxury that the Poles do not have, and might come back to that. Matsu just about survives that. Down to taking out 6 HP at the moment. But the exchange comes in, bit of a reset.
That was terrifying in the cap time, but the first, I think, 2 people to touch the point died pretty much immediately. Just thinking they could get away with early cap time, just working out for them. They actually said we push. Actually coming in pretty quick, in fact. Behind them, get some early damage. Just to do a lot of work there. That's incredibly good, most notably, and with Demoman not sitting there, able to spam on the point. You're lacking so much better for last. And we just sniped the rocket past everyone to get the medic, and then everyone else would follow up with that. Beautiful stuff by the soldier
control point is
and the
being
Czechs.
contested.
I mean, this could very well be around, but at the very least, if they get just across the map, get away from their last one, they don't have to worry about losing one more round and just confirm that way.
But yeah, you see, there's like 3 minutes left. It's even Ubers roughly. They're on their own last, and they put counter aggression into their own lobby and really want to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and it pays out dividends for them. One player surviving here for the Poles, and it's a big advantage here for Gadu as they walk onto his midpoint. The Poles have to scrap this out. They know time is of the essence, and Uber charge is taken out of Gadu, and lots of players dropping around the Uber. 3 down, 1 scout and 2 soldiers taken out here for the Czechs as the Poles walk across the point. They're very aggro. As obviously the medic goes down, Gadu taken out. Plaguery here going to be the next target by the looks of things, jumping out towards one, just going to escape before the shush door closes. Now looks 75% here on Zia. They're going to want to go quick here. Kajar gets 1 kill, but might pay his life for it. Does so. As the push can come in super fast here. Floppy's up on the heavy. Beams only just spawned. Recharge comes up walking in through number 4. He's walking across the point. Sticky's getting cleared. Heavy's getting focused down, launched away from the point by the splash damage. No Heavy on point this Uber. But the frags are being dropped around the Uber again. Soldiers coming and doing great damage. Breeze and Jerkhouse doing work here. Troll's going to get caught, and it's only 2 survivors here. Zio looking to get out with their life as well. 30 HP on the medic.
All the spoilers are back already though. If they want to refight now, they kind of have numbers at.
The control point
If they're doing it quick enough anyway, and looks like, I mean, with a minute left, they don't have much of a choice here, right? Just right back in there. It looks like the Czechs realize as well, they can't stay in here. I think staying on last life is better than dying on second at this point, so back it goes to the corner. At least it's a trade up for Stabber. That man will spawn a lot sooner, however, so still a bit of a worry. He was coming up pretty shortly. Gadu will get first with 40 seconds left. That's pretty big.
They're really trying to pressure this point. A lot of jumping in just to try and get some cap time in. It's not working well. The gun taken down finally. The Uber charges come up for Gabe. He's not up yet for Zio. Uber charge comes out onto the point. So many shiny blue players on that point. It's just an absolute wall. But yeah, Zio is now going to have Uber 85%. They're going to walk back in already. Slowly jumping in towards the point. Sever taken down. Not a pick they want to lose at that moment. Uber charge soldier on the point there. 10 seconds left. Pressure from the point. Pyro airblasting everyone off the point. No aim to the last point for them. Zio gets a kill with a solemn vow, but not going to make a difference. Nice defense there coming in. Ubercharge advantage coming in, but it's not enough. Great work by the Pyro and the rest of the Czech squad. Street Deadlies take map number 1.
Yeah, their map pick as well, so working out just barely in the end. Very close call here. Incredibly competitive game, but the Czechs go up 1. And everyone at the LAN venue has this now step of the game cheering up the countryman, I suppose. They're down 1, they're down for the count. Win the next map, they might still be in it, but lose any future map. And they're done for in this best of 3. They have to be careful. Up next, Sunshine. It's, I guess as 2 maps comparison goes, these 2 are playing fairly similarly, so as much as it's a Poles pick, I would assume a match that looks much like the same we just seen here, which, with how it's been going, I mean, I guess I would hope for so much, right? That was...
Yeah, you can't exactly complain, right? It's been a great one. Yeah, it's been a tug of war going back and forth. We had lots of good scrapping occurring, and yeah, going down to that push, using him with the Uber with 25 seconds left is about as clutch of an ending as you can hope for. But yeah, the Poles not the ones to come out on top, and their home event going to be looking to come back.
Yeah, incredible game so far. Very much down to the wire. Would hope for more of the same here. I guess last map notably as well will be on the Hill's product if it goes that distance. So quite possibly the most beautiful deciding map, I suppose, back to King of the Hill, where you can't even tie in any capacity, right? You just can't win in the end. No golden cap possible.
Well, yeah, it's one of those maps as well. It forces teams all the way through the game to be aggressive. Like a team goes 2-0 up on King of the Hill, they still have to play it as if it's normal King of the Hill around. You can't have any strategies like in 5CP where you want to slow the game down or whatever. It's great for those sort of high intensity, frantic, chaotic final lap deciders.
Well, no matter what, performances have been really good. I mean, if you didn't know already, I think none of these scouts have played like above Div 2, and you wouldn't be able to tell. All of them just destroyed each other the entire game. Incredible performances by all of them around. Kajalp, especially stepping up big time, having to come in here last second, having a really good game for themselves. So would hope to see more of those guys. And I mean, yeah, the talk is always about the projectile classes at LAN, but I guess 5-ping scout being able to just barely dodge a little bit easier might just not be that bad either.
Yeah, it's worked out for everyone. Yeah, as you say, it's big shoes to fill with SNH. Not been able to play, but I've got to say, Kajab's looked very much up to the task so far in map number 1 at least. Yeah, Process is knows to be a good scout map, and Sunshine is not bad also.
People rejoining the server, so we'll be back shortly. I don't really know. Like I said, these maps are pretty similar, Process and Sunshine, so I honestly don't think it will look much different. I think the polls just need to realize where things have been going wrong a little bit here as well. Maybe just figure things out right now. And I mean, in the end, it worked out almost more than it didn't. I think the only thing that was a little bit sketchy is that they sometimes just wanted a bit too much here and there. And that's really
they over-aggressed a little bit, right?
Yeah, you just need to be a little bit more careful here and there, and it will be fine. But other than that, you just need to be very carefully reacting to what the tracks are doing, and whenever the tracks are making a mistake, you just need to be quick on that one instantly and just execute right away here. But not much thinking about it right now. They're going to figure it out as the game goes along. We're heading into map 2 of this best of 3. Sunshine up next. The Poles wanted to see this map in this match here tonight, and they have to win it right now, or they're out. Checks up from map 1. Can take this match right here, right now, and claim this Polish land as Czech territory.
Both teams rolling out into their own valley, doing a pretty standard take. You've got a soldier here, Jerkas hiding in the blue cafe. But Mats is taken down very, very early on. Floppy gets the kill. That's a red demo man down very early on into this fight. But Krull's got the high ground, jumping in very, very steep onto the blue medic. Gets one rocket off. Doesn't manage to land anymore. But 2 soldiers down here for the Czechs. No more bombs available for them. They're being pressed out, losing a bit of this height. They're going to be forced back to their own cafe. Playgrid taken down, Floppy taken down as well. Holes. A bit of a slow burner there in the mid-fight, but they're going to be the ones coming out on top. 2 players behind though here.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward right now. They have to play according to that. Looks like they found one, but not so much the other. Drakus wins his 1v1. Kajat gets a bonus kill. Oh no,
Gedu's caught.
This is so awkward for everyone involved.
Yeah, Gedu gets forced here, has to retreat back towards second to deny it. They don't even get the denial. Zero's going to use much, much later. So there's 2 players down here. Gedu's not got Ubercharge anymore. 2 takes, Jerkas spawning up now. It's going to be very, very hard to crack into this. Gedu's looking to get out of there alive, to be quite honest. Getting caught behind the whole team like that. Escaping, but there's absolutely frags galore. Everyone's pressing. It looks like a dry punch attempt was on the cards. That's going to be forced to retreat with Zio. And pushed out all the way from lobby. It's a bit of an over-aggression, perhaps. Absolutely shut down in that choke point. Such a narrow choke, so easy to take splash. And they get onto Playgray, but that's all they're going to find. But spawners are coming through, so there's no push-out attempt coming up, despite the fact there's only 2 players alive for the Poles.
I think there almost was one. Breeze very aggressively in the low area, tries to take the fight for Cruel. Will go down on that, and I think now any chance to get back up the last is gone completely with 1 player down. In fact, it might just make a chance to better into last as well. There's still going to be a bit of a hole. Playgray spawned already. They have an engineer up as well, so there has to be some work done on this one as well. But looks like Gedu spawn will be fine from this bomb. These nice jumper Cruel's not enough to catch the medic, who will go down. Spawning up the sniper as well. They really don't want him to peek into last anymore.
Yeah, Gunner's taken down, but that was all they're going to get. Looks like there's a measure potentially going on sniper. Forward spawn door being left open. There's actually Uber's forced in lobby. That's a nightmare there for the Poles. They've just got their sniper up, and they're going to be the ones forced all the way back out. The gun's still up. Still 1 player up here for the Poles. They're going to have to build, but Uber charge advantage sitting with Gedu.
Well, we'll see. They're waiting for the sniper at the back, so it's going to be hard enough for this to get through all this time around. Cruel under does not survive. More than 1 soldier this time around. Jerkas has a backup scout, tears this soldier apart. Sniper on the back, still a threat though. Got to watch out for that one. Already gets 1.
Our control point is being
think if they can do anything else here. I mean, there's still a chance you want to just commit something onto the medic. Ooh, Adolf gets Jerkas as well. It's getting better and better.
There's 90% as well as Zio. Like, they can maybe stay in and take this fight here. Ubercharge used out from Gibby. Sniper's taken out in response, but Zio's 95%, or not quite getting in time to save some of the teammates around. But they might be re-aggressing here. They're walking in straight through choke. They're going to try and cut off the enemy retreat. Coming in through his cafe as Gibby is launched into space there by the scattergun of Saber. As the push comes across the point, counter-attack attempts coming in. Breeze bombs in. Jerkas jumps in as well, and Zio backing out into the valley. Advantage going the way of Zio in terms of Uber. Never mind! Jerkas takes the words from my mouth. Breeze bomb comes in there. I love with the pickaxe out, trying to see what he can do. But yeah, the advantage swings back. Not going to be too huge, but 3 players up here for the Czechs. They're going to concede.
That was a very close fight. I can understand what the Czechs used earlier into the team holding back after the way they did. They just hoped they would get some kills before the Uber comes up. Otherwise, they would have never done that, I assume. But it wasn't much in the end. They doubled down on it, though. They knew that medic was going to die. They just focused down every player that wasn't going to beam quickly. And it made it close enough a fight that they might still be coming out on it, despite an actually much better Uber on the side of the red team in the end. And this post-Uber fight still technically isn't ended quite yet if you really want to think about it that way. And then just still going forward. Breeze falls back over the couple by himself already, while Kajal is sneaking up behind him. And that's going to get them the midpoint here as well. And this insistence by the Czechs to just keep on rolling forward whenever they could, not give up any of these fights, will work out quite nicely. And that's the kind of version the Czechs have to keep on going. I think it's exactly what the Poles have to start pressing a lot more than it's been going so far. Otherwise, this will be a very rough going on map here.
There's a bit of great movement there from Gady. The sacks coming on mid, not able to get anything, but I love now walking in, catches one soldier of his own. Maybe there's possibilities here for the Bulls to hold on to the second point. I love jumping in, gets one shot and holds Uber Gady, sits on 43 forces. It's second time of asking. Scouts running in now. Zio still hasn't had to use yet. Jarv taken down. Cool jumping in onto Gedu, but Zio still has 100% in the tank. Up under too much pressure either as the red side, the Poles walking in through the cafe. Spam across the point here. Looks like the Czechs got nothing of this so far. They know the Uber situation. They know they're not too keen about sticking around, potentially risking too much here. Yeah, still sitting at around 50% here as the combo walks into the valley. Matza launched skyward here. Big bit of damage there as he comes in. Launched by the rocket, but Breeze comes in.
They just waited for them in the backline, expecting them to come to flower, see if they can sneak up behind for anyone here. They will some good damage, but not getting out on top really. Breeze got the early kill, but will guy at the end fall all anyway with 2 soldiers down. That might just be all they have.
Yeah, the 2 soldiers they committed towards choke when the real push, the real threat was coming in from the valley side. But I guess what they have done with their deaths, they've delayed the push a little bit. Gedu now has 100% in the minigun. It's a notoriously tough nut to crack, this Sunshine last point. Matt's taking out Breeze might help out in terms of getting sacks in, and they're not going to waste a second here. Crawls all the way in deep here. And he's taken out with his life. Centurion is taken down in the meantime. Crawls in here. Maybe going to think about going in for something here. They can try and get any more. They get 2 more kills coming through. And Uber's used out as well.
Can the soldier live? Yeah, just about gets back. He cleans up 1, saved the second soldier there. Just about. And once again, forcing to point down, everyone has to fall back to try and live. And you can't both be healthy in the back and block point at the same time. They chose 1, and it will end the round instantly. napierdalana gets on the board. The Polish team taking the lead map too.
Yeah, it was nice work there when the soldiers up towards choke when they pushed in. Matza comes in and gets the gun, and they keep the soldiers alive, jumping back and forth, really baiting the attention of the Czech defense all over the place. Krull sends a bit different this time, landing inside Blue Cafe, this mid. There's a team for Regal there, but Jerkas is actually in behind here. The whole combo will do a huge amount of damage here. Zobka's taken down. Maybe traded out on the other side. 3 on 3, but heal advantage for the Poles. But currently caught huge air shot coming in. Massive shot onto Zerkas. Floppy last alive, 58 HP, running out underneath the point. Going to try and salvage something down to 7 and swept up in the end. Huge work from Krull there on that mid fight. 4 frags coming through, including 1 huge air shot onto the bombing soldiers.
Yeah, very strong stuff there by the Polish team. Once again, the checks on blue in the back for a little bit here. And once more, well, we have a player hiding. Grease in the back line, basically up behind. Scout season coming early though, and yeah. You see, you just immediately realize, okay, well, I would like to sit back in this position on this kind of push we're doing, but I mean, the sky behind us, so let's just keep going forward, away from the soldier. No chance for Breeze to catch up at that point anymore until everyone else realizes they can just shoot him down pretty early. Get that kill, one into last. It's not a lot, but if there's an Uber, might as well take a kill to see if we can get some space on this early. They want to go all the way, actually.
Yeah, I didn't even realise how quick they built there. Built super fast, and they're going to lose so many players. Zero taken down, Allo taken down, 2 low players in lobby. Maybe staying alive for the moment. That gets the health pack stolen. Maybe not too happy about that one, caught on 36 HP. As lobby is still being held here. Actually, the Czechs are losing a few players here in this post-Uber fight, despite still having their medic alive, and due to the scrappy nature of the end of that fight, there's actually not going to be a great deal of ad here for Gedu as the game's reset. We get back into lobby being taken, even Ubers.
I mean, that's not a bad place for the Poles to be in right now. napierdalana can just chill, build the Uber, and figure things out one step at a time here as well, as long as it's working. However, in the meantime, Street Devils are very much not trying to give them a great moment. They don't really have much to play off. They're still trying to just get in early on the second.
Yeah, they're walking in, they're getting Alov's in, taking out very nice sticks. They're coming in from Playgrade, denying that bomb. And that's one pick. Maybe thinking about going more. They've got a lot of space here, but massive damage. And drop! Drop comes in. Saber comes in. Full bombs in. Only one player alive for the job. The Merc dancing around. 1v5. Not going to get anything. And the cap comes through. Massive damage there coming in front of that shutter. It looks so good. They got the space. They got one frag, but no height. And the nuke comes in, lands the +2 onto Gedu, and it's now 2-0 for napierdalana and the Poles.
Yeah, I mean, the moment the Poles realize they hit that damage the way they did, that you just will have to go in every time. And Street Devils have been insisting to try to hold on these Ubers for as long as possible, oftentimes now this map, or this match even. So just even an exchange would have been pretty good there, right? You got the tournament already, a lot of damage, everyone's weak post-Uber as well. Unless they find their way out of there quickly, and they just couldn't anymore. Just get melted right away. Take our story here on Bit actually. The chat just changed people after that, just now just all the way in early, tried to deny space right away, and no one's even getting out of flowers at all. And the bit fight's already over.
Yeah, it's a nice turn of the pace there from the Czechs. Coming in, got caught in the choke for a little bit of time there, but kept all their players alive and just let the health bleed down on the napierdalana players, who are actually being forced all the way back into their road. Well, they're going to get second for this as well with their player advantage. There's Uber charges coming up, and we'll see, I believe for one of the first times of this map, what the napierdalana last hold looks like. Going to be a gun on Saber coming up. Max getting that pick onto Floppy might be an opportunity for an off-class of some sort. We've seen snipers being tried here, but of course didn't manage to have too much impact. Given the force coming out instantly afterwards. C, yeah, decides to go for the sniper. It's a hard one to make sniper work on, but it can be done.
Ooh, that's spy checking force too, actually. So the one surprise factor shot you got on sniper is just gone now as well. And that's usually the best one you ever get, right? The medics will not be like in any positions that you'd otherwise be in a lot of the time. It'll be a lot harder from here. There's a headshot ringing out as well, maybe taking up the rifle too, just to make this even more difficult for the blue side of this, but they're not giving up just yet. Dude,
yeah, Gedu takes a body shot. Takes a body shot from Mej, who actually takes a jeu pass as well. That's 2 players down here for the Czechs. Yeah, maybe didn't know that sniper was up. Maybe dancing with death. Survives for now. Will survive for much longer. Argov walking in. Uber's traded out here on this platform above second. There's 3 players here to be flashed for the Czech side. Uber charges fading now on both sides, but Play, we're getting a huge amount of damage towards the shutter. Soldiers might be getting swept up as well.
Doesn't survive that bomb consumed government here. They're trying to just get any damage going they can. Probably will go down for it though. Adolf now the next most weak player here on the red team, but has that back after hitting the damage. Good enough. Looks like it may be Playgirl is stuck in the corner and I can't get back out in the spawns, but not here for Street Devils to keep up the fight in the end. Getting out alive, just about. napierdalana can make a bit of a move for it now as well, but it looks a bit. No demo man here will make a big difference in how much damage they will with themselves, but they got to be careful about it. Adolf, no, the net man just gets melted immediately on the to get back to it.
Yeah, Zero taken down, Mats are taken down. There's actually only 2 survivors here for the Polish side. A massive advantage coming through. If they can survive, the bomb comes in, taken down, shut out. Scouts are all too aware. Kajar and Floppy deny that attempt, and it's full Ubercharge advantage coming in. 2 players up, never mind spawners coming in now. But it's not, might not even be enough. Ubercharge used out here across the point, and there's no space here for the Poles. Had to back up all the way across. But the frags are somehow going the way of the Poles. They've not got anything with Uber, other than just a bit of cap time, but they're going to full wipe off of their own full ad push.
I have a big turnaround by the Poles. They're hanging on for the alive there, and this lead might just get a little bit bigger now as well. This could get them quite some distance. Gedus only spawns now, so big advantage on CO10. Will get them wide and far with this one. He's still hiding in the corner. Maybe he can surprise someone, but they're checking that one as well. Won't be catching anyone by surprise much in the end. All they have now is Soldier sitting on top of them, and that's the one you really expect every single time. Yeah, look at that matter. Stares right in the eye. They can't actually take so much damage, but lucky for them. Everyone else was forced out, and there just is no second soldier to follow up on that.
The damage doesn't really matter. There's a medic, can heal it all back up again. Not onto the medic and Zio, who now has 60% up for Gedu. They're going to maybe look to concede the second point. Try and at least equalise the others out. 2 rounds down, it's not exactly what they were looking for. Moments ago, they were with the full ad, pushing into the last point with napierdalana. He was forced out into Zio very, very early. Nice work there. Plague Raid taken out in response for it. But Gedo has to use, they lose so many players. They milked for so long. 3 players going down here for the Czechs. It's 3v5, and with the Ubercharge, they're not going to get back to point in time. They're spread out so far. Kajar can't get back in time. And that's a round just slipped through the fingers there for the Czechs.
Yeah, the Poles bring just the A-game for map 2 right now as well. Might not have been enough for map 1, but really have the number on the Czechs this time around. Looking really solid now. Just a little bit more. First to 5, of course, gets you the win long before the 30-minute mark is reached, so not that far away from just getting the win early on map 2.
Yeah, we'll see. Last time the Czechs had a Storfers on mid, and they're getting good damage here. It's straight onto Matza, and the soldiers are getting so aggro here for the Czechs. All the way behind, both can caught in Chuck. These might be getting pickaxe, so taken down in the end by the rocket launch, the more conventional of the weaponry. As yeah, that's the start they're wanting, right? The Czechs, if they're going to come back into this, this is the perfect way to do so. Getting on that medic, getting on that demo super early, and now they're 4 versus 3. Going to be looking to get into the second point. There's maybe a sack attempt coming through. Saber taken down, and Medj taken down as well. Both scouts out of the game.
Oh no, what is hello? Oh no, he's hiding. Is anyone going to see this?
Oh, they are.
Yeah, look at Kajar's eyes. You hate to see it. Not going to fall for that one there.
The control point is being captured.
You got to respect the attempt. You got to respect the attempt.
I mean, if you don't look at them, how will they see you? You know?
Yeah, if I can't see you, you can't see me. I love you, right? You look away, as the Ubercharge push comes in onto the last Pyro here. We've seen the heroics that Pyro could do on the last hold before, but this time it looks to all be going different. Frags coming through. Cap time just about there in the end. Pyro is dealt with. And there we go, 1 round taken back in a little bit over a minute there for Street Debil. See, we've got 2 more of them to do if they're to equalise this map. 30 minutes left, there's plenty of time, but not too much time.
I mean, this round was incredibly fast right now. I mean, if they get a couple more mid-fights like that, very doable right now. I'm sure the Poles are going to be a lot more vigilant to not have themselves get surrounded the way they did with the Soldiers behind this time around, however. Not going to make it quite that easy. Early damage, 3-4 for the position right away. Will just fall to the hands of the Scout right away, and now they're lacking all the damage. We went back to the point. Nice jump there by Soldier number 2. Dirk is setting up the Scouts for success, but everyone else is not really set up for anything right now. They're just stuck in the wrong side of the map.
And Gadu's taken down, so it's only 18 seconds on the respawn. Kajar, the last one to survive from this mid-fight, and it looked like it was going well, but they try and back up into the enemy lobby. Don't quite make it work. Gadu and Kajar taken down very late on that fight. Gadu only just spawning now. Yeah, it turns on its head.
That's point being capped as well. Different Creek will make things very much more complicated. Or I guess actually it might make things very simple. You just go in, kill someone instantly, I suppose. One way or another, it will be funnier, that's for sure. poLANd with the lead here on the chart. Naturally, should be building faster, so checks on careful. They might just not know at all. Then for Rude Awakening, it's like they're losing everyone already anyway.
It might not even matter. Yeah, it might not even matter. The push is coming in. They're going to be getting onto second, and Gedu's 65% Uber. Maybe potentially put under pressure before.
There's no gun for this
Flash.
if you have to get past as well. First of all, they just can't go.
They're just getting cap time. Who's going to deny this? Measure's on point.
What are you
stand
going
on
to
the
go on
point.
point against the crit thingy? I don't think so.
Yeah, nice work there, but yeah, the crits come in and they're just on point. There's 3 players up, and yeah, like you say, there's no gun to counter that crits, and they hadn't really got their setup set up on last yet. And that's 4-1, like you say, 1 round left if the Poles are to take it. It's now back to a situation we were in about 5 minutes ago. Street Debils need to have 3 clean rounds if they're to take this game in 2 maps.
And now there's no room for error anymore. Either map, point,
The control point is
or
being
the
captured.
Polish team in this second map. They can claw this to 4-1. Nice start, huge start by the Polish. Absolutely just picking a target, going for it, killing them instantly as well. Beautiful stuff right away. Gedu holding shortly thereafter as well. Puts them just in such a good position that now you just play defense against the last 2 players, and in fact, not even that. You see them in the back, drops it in right away, not giving them a chance to get crossed.
A frying pan kill comes out at the end, insult to injury. 2 on the frying pan.
We have lost control point.
There we
And
see
this
Big
has
Ad.
to be over now. This is too good to pass up on.
Alert.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh
they
wait,
lose
no, my
control.
Jurkus is main classing. Alert, Jurkus is main classing.
You've got to see if Joker's can make anything work. You're going for the hero play. Spy on LAN. Decloaking into lobby. Maybe slightly too early now. Gets spotted out. No impact.
Oh, the
Taunted
taunting
on.
on the path, no.
Space being taken here with you, but poLAND. They're jumping in, not getting any cap time just to build their cap time, and players are actually standing tall here. Kajab coming in with this heavy has done a lot of work on the point, and the cap time hasn't come through quick enough. I love taken down, and there's a full wipe here. They're a player up with full ad, and they don't make it work.
Alert. The control point
It
is
might
being
not come back to
captured.
bite us. It's still a tall order here for Street Debil to come back. But,
I love picking up the rifle now as well, just waiting in the back. On many midpoints, you have to expect there to be like a guy using the forward spawn to snipe on you real quick. It's a bit more annoying this map since you need to be out of spawn for a sideline, but still very much possible, and still very annoying if you are not ready for it right away. And if you have not any kills out of the sniper themselves yet, but everyone has to play around it. Everyone just needs to be terrified of that,
Oh,
because
yes,
eventually
Demo.
something will connect. There it is, Demo down, that's third kill out of nowhere for them as well, and they're just gonna go once again all the way, unless they take forward Zero and gang, try to roll up, chase them down here, they're not going anywhere.
The control point is being
the
captured.
Uber used out, but there's a back cover attempt. Might force a little bit of attention. Pulled back towards Saber, who's notably jumped on at the end of that fight, but he does delay the push. Uber charge has to slow down. They have to send some players back into Valley. And midpoint going to be taken here by Street Debil. 8 minutes and 25 on the clock for them to get 3 rounds. Looks like they're the ones taking initiative again. They're already walking into second here. Playgray walking up so aggro on the left hand side of this point onto the platform. But I love getting on the sniper, patching a pick onto Kajab.
Alright, so far so good. They got a little bit more ground back in the game. It's still a tall comeback to make here. It's like Baby's first TCM right now they have to make, but that just means it is still within the realms of possibilities for the Czechs to win on just this map potentially. But first of all, they need to break this last one. That's difficult enough as is. Uber's up, gun is up, and it's knife in the back as well. Lots to chew through. They're taking just the exchange. I mean, I guess they don't have much time to go through a long, drawn-out situation where you like throw people in for a force or anything like this to see if they can get anything post-Uber. But floppy down early, and everyone else just hunting them down right away into lobby. It doesn't look very likely.
They're losing 2 in the exchange. They couldn't get on the gun. At least not quick enough, and it's not worked out too well. As big pressure comes in, massive pipe coming in here onto Zio. He's surviving 6 HP. And yeah, frags going away the Poles in the end. Zio staying alive.
Point is being captured.
Second point going to be claimed here for napierdalana, and the layer of insurance in front of their own last.
Okay, once again, we have funny hiding going on. Breeze is waiting around the corner. Surely no one will see this coming. Oh, actually, pressing already here. Doesn't do much in the end. Out of Breeze in all of this though. Want to hunt that down at least. That doesn't quite hit it. And actually, just gets awkwardly trapped, but still gets better.
But still wins.
Try to wrap around on him, but gets the better in anyway. Bree staying alive there. This actually worked out in the end, kind of.
Yeah, it's okay for them. They've now got a pick advantage. You can use that to maybe take some space. Or go for some sort of pressure, some sort of sack. Looks like the blue side playing so aggressive. Kajab taken down just before the Uber gets dropped by Gadu on the way in. That's not ideal at all. They can't even get onto Zio, who's so far passive. We're going to try and get into salvage.
Breeze did it again, waiting in the corner, goes high this time, into the choke and looking up. I mean, it's impossible in this game, you can't do it. That's sad, Gadu on side, so really, really winning this fight.
There's a drop on it. It looks like Sailor might be able to get out this cap. It's going to be close. When we get this going to Playgrade. Ooh, no. Nice power from Playgrade. Does get the point regardless.
That's a big cap, really. HP,
yeah. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. It's one more point that the Czechs have to cap on their rush forwards.
They might just run back in here. Yeah, look at that. Right away back to the point, trying to just get in as quickly as they can. They pretty much all got, but not getting the ton of damage. You get Playgrade. That's a big kill, however, but it's the only one they're getting for the time being.
More players going down, and actually 4 taken out here. It's the Bulls running an absolute rampage on this mid-fight. They're even chasing deeper. 2 soldiers going into second here. Which looks like Kajar and Gedu are going to get out, but more space taken. There's sticks on the forward spawn. There's 4 players stuck in the forward spawn here for the Czechs. They managed to get 1 kill somehow onto a love, but so much damage taken inside there. The dangerous little coffin to sit in.
Yeah, they decide to call it quits there as soon as they still have people alive. It's not really weak. It's still time to get out maybe and rotate around the other way.
Oh, he dropped
completely by surprise.
95% on Gady there. Deep charge ripped from him. There's only 2 scouts up both on this mid-fight. Kind of going. There's lots of low players here. Maybe some work here that Floppy can do. Gets onto 1. No more. And there we have it.
Yeah, Xio's dying, slows things down significantly of course, but I mean with this little time left to make the comeback, just keeping it blocked on bars is win condition by itself enough.
Or you can come up crits, that also works, I guess.
Well, I mean, you know, I guess it would make more sense if 3 double chose crits at this point, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming straight in aggro, they know the time situation. Aloft all the way, it gets 2, might even get a third onto the medic as well. 1 rocket, the second one stolen away. Krull takes the kill, and now it's 4 players down for the Czechs. So much cap time on the point. It's an impossible scenario here for Zerkas. Taken out on the point, and it's 5-1, and we go to product to decide the winner.
Big turnaround by the side of our Polish team, napierdalana, bringing it all the way back here with a very strong win. Took a while to really get started on this map, I suppose, but once they got it, they really got it. Solid showing by the hometown heroes of this Polish event. And they're still having a chance to win it all here. King of the Hill up next, product to decide it all. And what better map to close out a best of 3 on, I suppose.
Yeah, like we say, it's one where you have to scrap to the end. There's no sitting back. There's no delaying time. You go aggro, take that point, get your holds in, and cause and thrive in the chaos that it can cause. You know, a lot of people going on sniper, so maybe that's something we might be seeing more of. We've seen about 4 different players have a go at sniper at various points during that Sunshine game. Could be interesting to see.
All right, I did hear rumors that SNH might be well off enough now to play the last map potentially. We'll see, I guess, in a moment if that's gonna be the case. If I don't actually know if he's the captain, but if the returning player he has to just wrangle the team back together for the final map, could be the case, and just try and bring this one back. And have, I guess, the Czechs conquer Poland at this Polish LAN event.
Yeah, it'll be one for the books, right? If a Czech team comes in and beats the Poles on home soil.
That's like the same thing as when Eames went to France LAN and then also won it. You know, the same kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's interesting if SNH comes back because honestly, I think Kajar's done a pretty good job in these first couple of maps, but obviously SNH is a big name to be missing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Could be a high-impact hero story, comes back for map number 3 and pulls out a massive performance.
You know, as long as he's not, throwing up again, I guess.
Yeah,
it should
true,
be a
yeah.
good enough performance, I suppose. I'm sure he's fine by now. I saw him on Twitch chat earlier. So he is hoping that they are in a prime position to game now in this final map. This has been a very fun game so far, so surely this last map will deliver as well. We'll see. But it's all coming down to this now. Also, actually, well, there's one more event after this one that's going to be over on the Critcast channel. I don't know if they're going to be live by that point already. They might on the Twitch stream, but there will be a Highlander event as well. That wasn't that's just a show match. Just whatever best Highlander teams between a Polish and a Czech team they could gobble together for this. We'll be playing a show match over on Critcast after this event. If Critcast is live already, we will just host right over the channel, and you can watch that as well in immediate follow-up and just get a little bit more action out of United.
Yeah, maybe some not quite full revenge, but for the losing country in this one could be a bit of a sweet consolation.
For what it's worth, obviously it's kind of a run back from the Nations Cup. Now the rosters won't be the same as in the Nations Cup. There's no chance every single players of those rosters are here right now, but a lot of them are. Already saw a lot of the Czech guys from that roster here in the team that played yesterday in the semifinals as well. Strauss and Skyfox, for example. Top of Highlander players, for example, that made it to top 4 in this event in sixes as well. With the second Czech team, there was 2 actually. So, maybe they still have a fighting chance there as well. If Poland is missing some of the heavy hitters, which I'm pretty sure they are actually. Makes the Czechs be able to take revenge for the, optimal rosters, I guess, from the online cup a little bit here.
Yeah, it looks as if Kajab seems to have joined the server, so at least Kajab thinks they're playing in the third map.
We'll see what it's going to be here in a sec, and still have some time to figure it out real quick. No hurry to get this map started just yet, after all. Let me double check as well what the time slot was they wanted to hit for the Highlander game. I mean, realistically, I don't think they can start this until we're done here, because I'm imagining a couple people would be in that Highlander team as well. Because it turns out some of these people are just kind of good at the game, as it so happens to be, no matter which game would you throw them in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, basically, as soon as this map ends, they probably will be live in Critcast, so...
Yeah, we can throw people over to
that's just best case scenario here for everyone involved, I suppose. Cool, nice to see everyone slowly joining the server. This will be interesting, because if the Poles... Like, both teams had just plenty dear moments last map. It was a very chaotic map at times. The Poles just kind of took charge of the situation, more often not by the end of it all, in those fights. But how the M fights play out in the end will be very different on King of the Hill as well, so it's really hard to tell just if that's alone enough to translate into a good CoF team right now. You were threatening about the snipers, of course, which very much could happen. This is not Bagel after all, so they wanted to see less sniping. They would have probably gone there instead.
Yeah, it's not even just been the scouts that have been off-classing onto snipe. I think we've seen a couple of soldiers switching over at various moments.
I mean, if you give Matt the opportunity to play snap, he will as well, so the devilments are not exempt. I guess we'll see. Yeah, they're definitely taking a short break here, as is not uncommon in LAN, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a long time, really stressful, sat there.
Okay, one thing is for sure, however, already very good. First thing I see in the in-game chat is that they're saying config, so... Unlike yesterday, they're thinking of it ahead of time.
I guess it's better late than never, right? Like, it's better to realise that you've got the wrong config after you've booted and everything, rather than obviously once round 1 has started and everyone's played a mid-fight and then realise...
Yeah, who would ever do that? That would never be happening to anyone, right?
Yeah, ETM totally happens. Yeah, all the time, you say, especially because when it rotates round and it's CoF week. So... There's always at least like...
It's always 20. Nice to just like be on a server, see the game start, and then below the 3-minute timers it says 30 minutes twice. That's exactly what you want. Alrighty. In fact, right now I wanted to check what ETF2 games we have coming up, speaking of which, right? But I forgot that the ETF2 website is still borked, and one of the people that would be in part responsible to fixing it is at this event right now, very busy.
Oh, you mean the thing with like the fixtures?
Yeah.
When you... Yeah.
If,
You
if
sort
it
of have to
was
go
like
manually through, right?
if it was reverse broken, where it was the top teams and not the bottom teams of each group shown instead, I wouldn't even be upset because then I could still see what I wanted to see.
Yeah, you still see Prem, right? You just go on like top tiers and it'd just be there.
Yeah, I could see immediately the matches I would want to look at.
Yeah.
What do we have next week? It is Mandem against TLR. Funny, but given the Virtus Bra game, I don't know how good it's gonna be.
Yeah, Mandem should be.
So maybe the Mandem fans will
looking
not
good.
have their game on stream this week. Let's see. Forfen's Gada still has to be played. That's gonna be next week, I think. Or next week, not next week. That's from last week. That came out this week, I suppose.
But Forfe's did
very
that
late
last
game.
week as well, right? They played their game late.
Yeah, I don't know. It's France, you know. What is time when you're French, I guess. Okay, we have a banger match coming next week, however. Obviously, the current narrative is very much on Mandem, right, this season, but Forfen still hasn't lost yet either. Admittedly, they also haven't played last week, but they, played well both matches they did play so far. TLR and Virtus Bra. I have Witness next up. Last time these two rosters played, admittedly different on the Frenchies part. It was very close. They almost actually pulled the upset out as well, in a way that only a few people could have said back then. So it's maybe there's a chance for this to be a little bit nail biter. We'll see. Eyes on Witness to bring it back this season, I suppose, after a rough start. Then we have another Clown Fiesta game, which is Gada Swift, as every Swift game is, I guess, this season.
Swift haven't had
I've
too bad
already
of a
been
start, right?
told. I mean, they've just been tying everything in the dumbest way possible. So all the games are content, no matter what. However, I've already been told that it's very likely that if they keep the game on Thursday, which they're currently looking to be, that both teams will have a Merc each, which I think will just make it even funnier.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It'd be good content.
And Gala's a bit of a question mark to me as well. They didn't play bad, but they kind of just tied the game the last time as well. So, and then they played Witches afterwards, which tough luck winning that, I suppose. So it's really hard to evaluate where they are currently stacked up against everyone else. That's going to be an important one for them for sure against Swift, who've been tying everything. If they can win that, that's huge. Because everyone else has not been getting points of them, but if they can, that just sets them ahead here. So there's some interesting games next week for sure. And a lot of this, I think it's Bagel Gully Week as well, which is going to be fun all around.
Yeah.
Lots to look forward to as well in the world of TF2 coming up.
Bagel Gully, more teams to not use the right config.
Oh, hell yeah.
Be excited.
Well, it looks like they might have fixed it on this server now. They're also discussing which game settings they're playing on, like master config and all that. I guess they just really want to know best settings for everything. But they're all here now. I don't know what they're debating. I would have to Google Translate, and that's effort, so I'm not going to do that. But they are all here now, and Noah's an H in sight. So it looks like that man's still, I guess, taking the sit out here. Which, fair enough, I guess. If you're bad with the condition to not start playing the game, maybe it's not a good idea to try to, like, last minute wrangle yourself together without any warm-up as well into the third, all-deciding map instead of just letting them play out with what I've been doing fine so far, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be really rough on Kajab as well, right? Like, he plays those first two maps and then it's like, oh, by the way, like, he's recovered a little bit more, we can get lost. Like, it's a little bit rough. Obviously, is the main player and all, but wouldn't feel too great.
Yeah, very, very curious to see how all of these guys we're seeing here tonight as well will be performing for the respective ETFL teams for the rest of the season as well. Like I said, seen most of them around capacity. I think the only one who's not been very active is a Floppy, who hasn't played in a while. After like a hot mid-finish, I think it was. So yeah, we'll see what all of these guys can perform. Like Plague obviously in Premiership, of course, the season's well. It's going to be tough one for them. They're like, I think, projected to be like one of those teams, but you never know. Funny upsets have happened plenty of times, and this might just be one for starters here. Very close map one, going to the track side. Debils wins that. napierdalana, the Polish squad, coming up big on the second map. 5-1 win on the second map looks a lot better here. But now going to the third map, Product to decide it all. Like you said, Sniper makes it all the more complicated.
Wondering if it'd be possible. And set up on that China Zerkas. Seeing what he can get done, gets bombed pretty early. I love going to get onto him, but Hayes is live for it, and Max is taken down. So Demoman down here for the red side, but they've taken so much space here across the point. Bull's going to use this space to jump in, really hit the air shot onto Playgray. He's launched onto the China, but Gio gets taken down in the backline. They press across the point, get the point, but lose their medic in doing so. As bombs come in, get onto Gedu, second attempt. Alov goes in, salvages the kill onto Gedu. They've had the very scrappy start to this one. Point going to be capped up eventually. Not going to deny Gedu. Just holding off on that one for a moment.
Alright, not bad. They had good focus early from Shanghai, just working for forward to get away with it all in the end, past the last bit, solid bombs out of the Polish side. So time being for them here a little bit in a moment, but it's going to be very difficult to keep right now. Zabion's already in the points, holding behind, Alov popping up from backlands again. Trying to get in, will land in there. No, but shooting it down, but that guy died just early enough for him to still make contact with the medic. Everyone was dying, it's just to be from get-go here. And it's not really on the sniper right at the moment, at least, to slow things down with the end. They're not letting it happen on the Polish side. They're making sure they have to keep going past that sideline as much as possible. That might necessitate a switch sooner or later if it's really just not working out like that. But for now, I think we're hoping that this sniper threat is going to continue delivering.
Yeah, for sure. Point currently being held by the Trench Speed Devil, holding the point, but they're being forced back with pressures coming through. Cap getting edge just for now, Soldier jumps in. Breeze going to take a lot of damage on that one. Jerkas taken out again on the back line. Cap comes through, one player down here for napierdalana as Playgray spams across the point. Will nearly catch the kill to Saber there, but point just flip-flopping back and forth here. There's not really been much of an established hold being set up this whole time, as Uber Charge is going to be coming up in a moment. Saber taken down just before it comes up isn't exactly ideal. I love going in, get a big rocket over to Playgray.
Breeze is so weak, though, can't really put any more value there in the backline. Will eventually go down. However, in the meantime, the Uber is looking a lot better for the Czech side if it wasn't for the numbers down that they are in the end here right now. When that is supposed, will try anything. Cool down early with the first bomb, get some good damage, so just hunt down the demo one quickly, but also weak afterwards as well. Lose Saber as well. Might be down at that moment. It might be a slow process to get back into the cap as well, but they haven't capped yet either. So in that time, they actually didn't lose any value on the clock just yet. But for the captains now, Breeze forward on the flank, taken really weak, but just about escaped from the hunting him down at all, actually. Letting the soldier live. The Czech can just, after losses here, everyone just trying up again for the fight, and with the sniper in the back, sitting back, isn't that bad in the end of the day?
Yeah, headshot onto Max is a big pick. Demoman not going to be there to hold this point. Gets taken out in the end. He's going to be a rough life for sniper. He's got two soldiers bombing you all the time. We've got soldiers bombing in onto Gedu as well, takes him down at the bottom of the cliff. As the blue side, the Czechs chased all the way back to spawn. We had a chance at a forward hold here, maybe. Mats is a little bit slow to get here, dying in that previous fight, but they're going to lock the door here.
Alright, yeah, they're just on the aggression as well. Not letting give any space at all. So many kills out of that alone, and so much time might be out of this as well right now. Time mercilessly ticking the back of that entire aggressive push there, and with just a minute left. Admittedly, not really advantage here. They're still not in the perfect position, maybe. They didn't catch Medic. They're in a really good spot overall right now. If you have to commit this, but get this point, it's going to be bad enough as it's already as long as CEO gets out of here alive, and they're trying to not even let him get that far. These bombs have been really good so far. Kuhn and making life difficult in the backline. They have all the Czech bombs do so much damage, but not enough to get the Medic in the end. That's the one they really wanted. Kedu will get Zuba, and with the soldiers down early, they might not have to pop for this point now as well. They might have just made life worse for themselves with the failed stack attempts.
Two picks down, and Alov's in. Alov gets into the medic here, and big damage into Playgrid, who's taken out in due course. And he's going to be getting spammed out as well. 40 minutes been taken out as well. They lose both their soldiers pushing in onto that point. And yeah, they get the cap, but yeah, the counter aggression. These two soldiers for the Poles are doing huge work with these bombs. Not just onto the sniper, but onto the med and demo also. And they've got themselves another big hold here, coming up 20 seconds left on the clock. The street to be able to get in. Uber charge popped out here from Zio, chasing through into Gedu into the spawn door, taken down by a nice direct. And silently in the background, Mejin got himself an 11 kill streak in the midst of all this chaos.
Really well right now. We'll lose that 1v1, but with 5 seconds left on point, someone has to get on this cab right away. Massive's not even letting that happen at all right now. Just controlling forward all the way here from the biggest in front of the two, and that's no one's getting past all that. They're not getting on the point again. Poles with their aggression, once they did start finally getting it going, it worked out quite nicely, and it's been enough of it, like I said, to maybe just force out the sniper away from this team for good now. Jock is spawning a soldier this time around, hasn't been a sniper for a couple of minutes now at this rate. I don't know if we'll see that again at this point. The Poles have been doing good work, just not letting them have the space and time to find these angles.
So doing great, just bombing in, but speaking of the two blue soldiers, Zerkas and Breeze all the way in deep here. Just caught behind in a bit of a rough spot here. Cole going in on the counter-sack. Be taken down. Soldiers trading back and forth here, but not much output from any of them. It looks like the blue side going to be forced back. Playgrade's caught in away from the medic, and Gedu's caught behind, taken down as a punishment for it as well, and the soldiers getting taken out as well. Zerkas pays his life, try and salvage it here now for Breeze, who goes in, gets two, gets into Saber and Zio. Really nice salvage. They're getting it onto the med and scout on the point.
Try to the start. Yeah, it's be long enough fight here that they're not getting a bit time leader on the side. Just them the leading of this loss quite a bit, and in the end it might just actually be enough to turn this all the way back around. It's a quick recap. Caught two people waiting for the spawners to come up and just needing too much time to get there, I suppose, to help them out in the end, and they're trying to take tip control as well. It's been working off great for the Souls, obviously, with David, because if the Playgrade pumps in the damage, what's the follow-up of that as well? Theo finally goes down, picks up there, he's in a bad spot, Soldier can just shoot down something mercilessly as well, play hide and seek, but they find him sooner or later, and with Jerkus going down as well. Their attempt to just hold cliff just gets cut short by never really being able to set up over there.
Yeah, Zerkas jumps in and got so much damage, actually takes down Zio in the process, but the frags only go into Zio, and that's the only one they get. As points taken, but Uberad here, the Gedu, and the checks are street reveal. They're going to come back in, try and take over this midpoint again. Just maybe thinking about going behind. Two picks coming up, two napierdalana players in the grave as a close one. There's Zio, survives in 20 HP. Breeze bombs in onto the grass. Doesn't quite get onto that medic, but Gedu's kept Uber up here. So this is a very nice advantage for them.
Yeah, looking not so shabby after all, even with the sketchy first play on point they had. Set in a good position here. Blue spawn pretty early, all things considered. The chase is on, but I don't think they get there in the end. And Playgrade doesn't have a flash anymore either. Will just go down. Everyone else pulling back early, and could go Devilman as well, sitting back. Will be a lot harder now. So you can already see everyone stalling at the point, getting camp time early. First kills already running out. And
nice
the bomb will work out just fine. Yeah, Turkus lands right on the medic. Riding it off it in the end, but it looks like they will still lose the point here.
Yeah, really crucial for us. They didn't want to have to try and break these Uber off from Zio in this hole, but they still got so much ground. All the Czech players are all the way back in their own spawn. As the forward hold clamp is set up again. It was busted out pretty easily last time. They got the force and managed to get out due to that. But Breeze and Kajab going in, both going to pay their lives, and Uber's getting built up. Gedu building a little bit quicker here. So we'll see how this Uber decides to get used. 95%. It looks at the moment like it's coming in through main. What he's taken out early. Not exactly ideal here for the defending Polish side, as Manta takes a lot of damage but takes out Zerkas in the meantime. Yeah, and he's got Ubers used.
It's a bit awkward though, like everyone on Blue is weak and the red team's one down already, so as soon as these Ubers end, it's going to be easily decided. But who gets the first kills, he looks like the Poles with the better health. After all is said and done, can just getting himself a lot of ground. He is spawned, he is Crusader. Fast for the blue team as well, kind of bossing a bit more, but he goes back quite much quicker. The Poles can't really stay as long as they would like. Knife in a follow-up by Getty onto the player, pipe immediately Jerkus right on top of the medic. While what was staying sniper, but you can just snipe him down with the rocket as he lands right on their heads. And it's really doable. A little bit on time, but far ahead on Evo right now. Playgrade spawns any moment as well. The Capitulate wasn't too cruel to the demo main right now. It still needs a couple of seconds here where the opponent might just take a fight early.
Yeah, Sacks come in here. Olive taken down by Sticks. Playgrade lays down the carpet. Landed onto Julie, but massive damage coming in here on this round. Underneath the China, Playgrade, Breeze spamming the explosive on there, and Mej and Zio the only two alive, and Gedu still has a decent sized Uber advantage here, and it looks now like it's the Czechs who have their turn to set up this forward hold, this forward clamp. Let's see how the Pole decides to get this. It's an Ubercharge to get off as well. Zero still only at 75%.
In 60 seconds.
With 1 minute on the clock. Probably going to go in fairly soon here. Looks like they're going to try and burst out onto the grass. They've got the pyro. On the way through, on the burst. Getting a couple of nice air blasts there. On the way through, but they're not going to get a great deal of space off it. The Zerkas and Plague getting frags. Both the Red Soldiers down and Ubercharge used out here. They're going to go across the point, measure all the way across, gets a use onto Gadu, but it's so late. It's a much better Uber here for the Czechs.
30 seconds.
Damage still has to decide to the end of this one here. The saw comes out from Gadu as well. That is clutching the man to stay alive in all of this one. Finding Gadu late. It's all coming together in the end, just about as we get to the final few seconds for Street Devils. Maybe that's going to be enough, but it's going to be a tough one here for the red team. That's all matters so much right now. That's going to give them such a huge advantage to the point where they will comfortably have run time for the next engagement and maybe just bring it home with that next charge. This is looking really tough for being up time right now on the side of Street Devils. They have to get some results here quick, and just getting capped is enough. They're getting a little cap time, but that's fine for the Poles. They have to do the play around.
Yeah, they're walking across the point. Ubercharge actually forced that onto Zio, but they're seeing so much. Medj walking in, takes down Plague with Gadu and Zerkas, the last two alive. They're chasing so hard into spawn. Alov's in, they're straight onto the medic. Gadu 20 has been taken down in the end by Saber, and all the blue players here have been pincered in into their own spawn. They have 5 seconds to get onto the point.
3, 2,
And there's no space, there's no time. They're not going to make it until half-time's coming through. Overtime, maybe
They have to just out the end immediately, you know, while staying on point. That's so hard. It's so easy to spam it down when you definitely have to pass.
There we go, yeah, there's still no time.
Poland up 2-0, first 3 wins. One more will do it for Poland to defend their home turf and take home the first place at Poland 2023.
It's a much better round there though for Street Devils in the end. They had a lot of better Uber exchanges there. Their push outs looking good. A little less sloppy, I guess, not messing around with the sniper. Really worked in their favour. So Zerkas had good impact there on Soldier. See how they decide to take the second round. Floppy takes a lot of spam early, but the double sackings in here from the Czechs. Zerkas and Blues both taken down, but Zio goes down in response, and it's an absolute massacre here as all of the Czech players, all of Street Devils get taken out. They go in, they get onto Zio, which is great and all, but the counter aggression comes through and the frags are swept up by napierdalana.
There we go, good start from here. Match point after all, one more will do so. Good start on this one is huge difference maker. However, do this match early down and out. Going to set you back on what you can do the next fight. Quite a bit of a dramatic having anything just yet. Damage will just decide everything here. As both teams very much understand what's good in there, and all of the Poles setting back for the most part. Do send their soldiers in to do the heavy lifting for the scouts instead. But they are not doing much in the end at all. Pull that off down, and that's just going to be good enough for Street Devils to get the cap back in just about 30 seconds. Pretty quick recap. Gotta get into good position from here. Last time they tried to go forward, didn't work out so well this time around. It looks like it's full on forward hold, so maybe that's gonna just do a lot of heavy lifting for them to get ahead on the clock now.
They're going to pyro up again, classic way bursting in through this grass. See what it can get done. There's a soldier in front with an awkward standoff, but Zerkas gets a lot of damage in the end despite the pyro. Pyro taken down, and Ubercharge is used out here onto Zio, and Gadu is so far away, so safe, and he jumps on in the end. Force is very late, but again Gadu, the one with the better Uber. In the end of this, Mats have been taken down, and Medj caught here on the grass, defending it very nicely. Gets a couple of kills, nearly gets a kill into Plague as well, who retreats off. And with Ubercharge wiped out, that probably benefits the Poles in the end, but with the reduced spawn times, but they're still going to get onto this point. They've not gained that much ground here. Goes our demo down.
That's huge. That's a big game changer right away here. Everyone's so weak inside on all fronts as well. It's really terrifying to stay forward as well. And looks like the Czechs will give it a little ball with the demo. They have to fall back immediately, but not long. Zerkas across the point, tries to get onto the combo, can't get the medic. It's not quite enough, and they're just leading numbers right now. At least they're still on point. It's taking so long, and the Poles just lose so much time out of this whole engagement.
Yeah, this whole hold has been a long time, almost a minute and a half. The Street Devil have managed to hold on to this point for. Yeah, that's the thing with the Ubercharge coming out on that forward hold really delayed the push out in the dry fight. They might be looking to take the cat back straight away here, walking aggro across the point. Allov's down and Pole's taken weak, but Ubercharge used out, Katie milking and milking, gets the better Uber yet again. Just walk back across the point, the push and pull continues. There's lots of big damage being taken over on the red side, the Poles. Maybe the ones re-engaging, they've been chased out into the bottom of the cliff. Gonna get out alive. And in the end, the Poles hold strong. They're the ones keeping the players alive, keeping the hold of this point. All important seconds being ticked off the clock.
Not bad,
back
not
in.
bad. But yeah, they already have so much cap as well. Just letting you bait points up war is not really some position you want to find yourself in right now. As well, player behind, so everyone's stacking a point. Yeah, they just want to finish up the cap here early. Bomb-o-matic is across as well, but both soldiers dying in the end. Player behind already down. Everyone has one point, just stuck with not much to do, and trying to sneak away this cap time is not going to be good enough. It was looking very doable for a second, but not in the end. As the time lead has comfortably now fallen back to the Polish side. Who's up now as well. Next engagement puts you in such a good position for the end game as well. This is going to be very, very important. Both teams very careful with how they want to use this one, but in the end, I think the Czechs will just have to start aggressive first, and they're getting a kill to start with. Nice. Scout gets stuck there, probably goes down, but not before helping claim another kill on the beam as well. 2 down for 1. Supposed to be looking pretty good for street doubles as well. Perfectly delayed here from the cap. Have everyone up again by the time they capture the point. Not far behind on the clock just yet, but it's not on cliff, and they struggled so far at crossing cliff side currently. Do get a kill out of this one, but not really taking space on it.
Yes, our Playgrave doing such good work here, spamming up in towards that cliff, denying all the space, getting some nice pipes. He gets another kill here into Measures with the sticks. Across the point, he's so powerful, having a demo man here doing this work. Taking so much damage here with the Poles. They're going to be backing up a little bit. Breeze taken down though, might create some space over towards the clip side of Saber. Gets 1 kill back, 50 seconds apiece here on the hold. Soldiers going in deep behind that Saber's control all the way in. Takes the health pack, but he might be losing the fight regardless. Ubercharge used out here. Gedu second to use yet again. It feels like it's always happening this way around, but can they clean up this fight efficiently afterwards? It's now to the end low.
Oh, there's so much damage by the Poles. Just blow them all up immediately. Big refight there, not giving up after rotating back around the other side of the rock and just immediately tearing them apart. Brilliant stuff. The timers are as close even as they can be right now, but Poles pulling ahead a little bit, both on Ubers and the time, and both of that combined right now puts them in such a good position. It's the Czechs having to get back to point quick, and the Poles have just the inevitability of the Ubercharge coming up sooner or later, and maybe they don't even need that last moment. Looking good, dropping the one earlier. The Czechs have to definitely get on point already.
Playgrave down
early with that as well, and they just don't have the numbers to keep up the fight, and falling back now, this means you will have to fight this once it's up.
10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds. There's no space. Floppy's the last of the bullet, trying to get some cap time, but can't do anything, and there we have it. Game, set, and match. napierdalana are the winners of poLAND 2023, cleaning it out 3-0 on the final decider map. Koch product coming back from 1-0 down in the series as well, so well played to them.
Yeah, very, very good stuff there out of the Polish team, defending the home turf. Czechs with a very strong second place finish here, however, so not bad at all on their part. But in the end, it wasn't quite enough. Yeah, like I said, good comeback, I suppose, as well. And I mean, for this worth, right? It's still a lot of improvement by the Czechs made across the map here. First map was a bit of a disaster, but the upper two were coming a lot closer down to the wire. But the Polish squad still held strong. Really, really solid stuff. And considering how much, relatively speaking, new talent there's on this roster, that's very remarkable. So well done to napierdalana. They're taking it home and claimed the crown.
Yeah, it's good work here, particularly on this product. They were in control in that last round. Their exchanges were good, and again, they won those fights. They got so much focus fire off and got onto the key classes over on Street Devil right at the perfect timings. And yeah, 3-0. Maybe it doesn't quite tell the whole story. Some of those rounds were quite close, but yeah, in the end, deserved winners.
Very much, very much. You'd love to see a close game. And with that said, maybe there's still one more to come. Czechs might have lost here just now, but we still have one more match left to go. That's, however, not here. That's going to be on Kritzcast. I assume we will be hosting over on there in a moment. That said, not the last game, of course. We will be streaming on this channel, let alone this week. for that matter. Lots more to come here on Team Fortress TV. It's going to be the ETF season continuing throughout the week. It is going to be very important games coming up for people's tables position, so stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you on the other side.